My name is Antonio Santos, Antonio de Souza Santos to be correct. I was born in Mozambique in Africa and raised there and in Portugal. And I guess I was born, let's say, in the middle of the last century. Well, I'm a modern architect, which means that I started designing buildings in the 19th century. I'm joking. But certainly in the last century, in the 20th century. My favorite buildings have been the one where, right from the beginning, the ideas, the client, the location, everything seems to evolve naturally. Of course, you have conflicts, but in the end, it's when you can look at it and say, look, there's only 1, 2, or 3 mistakes, which nobody else can tell. Those are the best buildings you can possibly do as an architect. They're quite exciting because everything around you seems to be relevant to what you do. Of course, having a family is somewhat difficult because you have to divide your time. A lot of people, architects, marry other architects because they're the only other people who seem to understand what's involved. And they put up with you as you put up with them. And I've been lucky, I've only been married twice, but a lot of architects I know have been married 4 or 5 times. And that's because their wives, who aren't architects, simply can't put up with them, always doing architecture. It's very important to be surrounded by the things that influence you, the books, the drawings, the instruments. It's an environment that also brings the outside in. You want to be sure that you're not in a closed room. You want to be in the environment. You want to be reminded there's a real world out there. And so the studio is kind of like microcosmos. This is a really important book among many. And working in architecture can be really exhausting. You know, you're always trying to get the best of possible solutions. There's so much to think about. So you need to also be able to relax, to have a drink sometimes, to be able to breathe, listen to some music. That's very important. Just so that when you're working, life is still around you. You're not just in a cell or anything, so the studio is like a whole world for you. Another thing I might mention, you probably noticed it, I like to have music when I work. I'm not really listening to the music, although I suppose it's coming in and being part of what I do, but it's also to make your environment around you more active. You don't want to feel like you're in the middle of nowhere. You want to be absorbed in the music. It makes you comfortable, brings life to you from the outside. Filmaste essa mesmo?
Sim, tá filmado.
Maybe take a drink or,
Já filmado.